And today I'll be talking to you a little informative about the 60th anniversary of local law of the 47 prefectures. We'll get some details about every prefecture and also some background information about prefecture and the local law. Today I'll be talking to you much for joining informative about the secondly. I need to do this as a virtual meeting. Anniversary of local law. Another 2 weeks of the 40. I'm not going to be in India. We'll get some details about every timing my presentation. So some background information. I would like to make this too. My office and the local law. Today, thank you very much. Will air informative about virtual presentation. I need to give this very much for virtual meeting. Anniversary of local law and cooperation. Thank you. Now. There are 47 prefectures of the 40. I'm not going to be in India. Your map. We'll get some details about every Hokkaido. Timing my presentation. So some background information. I would like to make this too. My office and the local. Today, thank you very much. Will air informative about virtual presentation. I need to give this very much for virtual meeting. Anniversary of local law and cooperation. Thank you. Now. There are 47 prefectures of the 40. I'm not going to be in India. Your map. We'll get some details about every Hokkaido. Timing my presentation. So some background information. I would like to make this too. My office and the local. Today, thank you very much. Will air informative about virtual presentation. I need to give this very much for virtual meeting. Anniversary of local law and cooperation. Thank you. Now. There are 47 prefectures of the 40. I'm not going to be in India. Your map. We'll get some details about every Hokkaido. Timing my presentation. So some background information. I would like to make. Forty-seventh is the down south Okinawa, and as you see, Japan is more a vertical country with the prefectures on both sides of the Sea, Pacific as well as Japan Sea. So let's look into what is these prefectures in Japan. Prefecture is the most fundamental part of administrative division and primary jurisdiction of many countries, such as Japan and China, and Japan has infused its own rich cultural and administrative rules and regulations into the prefecture system, thus to get more impact and greater good. Japan's prefectures are divided on the basis of geographical distribution, as I've shown you, from up north Hokkaido to down south Okinawa, and based on the geographical distribution of these prefectures, they have been divided. This subdivided area of Japan harmonize, categorize, and make it easy for government to organize and administer these prefectures with more efficiency and perfection, for which Japan is very well known. In simple terms, prefectures of Japan are what states in America or province in Italy. And also in India, we call them as state. So something that is prefecture. It is obvious that the division of the country into different subdivisions is on the basis of good administration and prosperity. But why Japan has divided it into these 47 prefectures anyway? Simply stating, for the progression, survival, and evaluation of Japan in right direction in accordance with the time. It was essential for Japan to study, observe, and adopt the administrative structure of ruling modern and progressive countries in the world. While keeping the monarchic administrative style intact, they want to do this also. For that reason, Japan adopted this administrative style during the Meiji regime or Meiji period. Meiji government established old conventional Han system of establishing new prefecture system in the year 1871. Initially, Japan, the entire Japan was divided into approximately 300 prefectures, where many of these prefectures were part of conventional Han system. But according to the need of time, this number reduced to 72 in late 1871, then to the present number of 47 in the year 1881. The word prefecture was of Portuguese origin. You can see on the picture Portuguese landing in Japan. And Japan had a strong infatuation with Romans. Portuguese who came to Japan for trade or exploration or even for missionary work later were used to name different regions of Japan by this term prefecture. At that time of establishing the prefecture system, Japanese adopted the same term, as this word can easily be understood and translated language of the country that the Romans had connections with. This term was totally in accordance with the Japanese culture, as according to this, all the governors in prefectures were appointed by the consent and orders of the emperor. Adoption of prefecture system was totally suitable for Japan, as it had all the perks of modern and developed countries, such as it was administratively revolutionized, like blooming Western states. On the other hand, allowed to enjoy the monarchic status of emperorship. Adoption of prefecture system was one of the stepping stones for Japan after the Civil War, establishment of ties with the blooming countries. As for the country that had its own rich culture and history, but didn't have the successful language to communicate and keep with the revolutionizing Western state at that point in time in international relations, politics, business, education, art, industry, and government. It was extremely difficult to normalize the political relations. Major Western countries that were ruling high on the political and business world shared a few similarities, though through which these nations grew up, their political ties, trade, business, and much more. Unfortunately, Japanese were not able to communicate with these nations as they should be. And in such time, which you came out of anarchy and into commencement of progressive life, there were some very different decisions Japan was bound to make immediately. For starters, Meiji regime brought up many adoptions in the language, among which adoption of the word prefecture was one. So the establishment of prefecture system was one of the stepping stones for Japan towards more organized, westernized, developing, yet with an essence of Japanese culture and interactive system that connects all Japan with regional divisions, plus make Japan visible on the world map with a better administration and more political ties. If you see, prefecture from the Latin prefectura is an administrative jurisdiction traditionally governed by an adopted prefect. Okay. This can be a regional local government subdivision in various countries. In Japan, if you see, they had 4 different things. One is Hokkaido, called Do, Kyoto was a Fu, and Shimane was a Ken. For example, I'm talking about, and Tokyo was To. So if you see how Japan was divided, okay, in English, prefecture used to translate to, if you want to see in Japan what they have written, To, Do, Fu, Ken, which are the main 4 divisions of Japan. To was Tokyo, Do, Hokkaido, and Fu is Kyoto, Osaka, and Ken is all the other prefectures. They consist of 43 prefectures, Ken proper, 2 urban prefecture, Fu, which is Osaka and Kyoto, and 1 circuit or territory, which is Do, Hokkaido, and 1 metropolis, Tokyo, which is To. Before the end of the World War, the word was also used for overseas areas as Cho, Shu, and Do in Korea. All 4 prefectures are Ken: Nagano, Niigata, Ibaraki, and Nara. So these are the some example of Ken. Japan's fundamental local public entities, namely cities, towns, and villages, Shichosan, and especially wards of Tokyo, Tokubetsuku, Prefecture, Todo, Fu, Ken, are referred to as local governments. As of 2019, Japan has total of 792 cities, Shi, 743 towns, Cho, and 184 villages, Son, and total of 1,724 municipalities. With the addition of Tokyo's 23 special wards, this total rises to 1747. Japan has 47 prefectures totally, and all prefectures are ken, like Kochi, Gifu, Fukui, Aichi. And these are also, I'm just showing you some of the kens because majority of them are referred to as ken. These local governments has its basis in the Constitution of Japan, which recognizes local government as essential to democracy and which establishes as its part of the state's system of governance. The core legislation regarding the local government can be found in the local autonomy law, which divides local public entities into two major categories. Fundamental principle local government are set forth in local autonomy law, Chiho, Jichi-ho, which gives specific legal validity to the principle local autonomy as ensured by Chapter 8 of the Constitution of Japan. Again, I have shown you some more kens here. And the local autonomy law specifies the types of organizational framework of local public entities as well as guidelines for their administration. It also specifies the basic relationship between these local entities and the central government. Again, I've shown you 4 prefectures, the Ken, Okinawa, Kanagawa, Miyagi, and Tochigi. And then 4 more Kens are shown here. After World War II, in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution and the local autonomy law, Japanese local government gained broad recognition of their autonomy and self-standing, both at the formal level and the operational level in terms of their actual dealing with the central government. You can see these 4 prefectures marked as Ken. However, although they are considered as autonomous entities, as the source of their funding and orientations comes from the central government, it is the central government who exercise control in various ways in all the prefectures. Japanese local government has its basis in the Constitution of Japan, which recognizes local government as essential to democracy and which establishes it as a part of the state system of governance. The core legislation relating to local government can be found in the local autonomy law, which divides local public entities into 2 major categories. The first category consists of municipalities, which are further broken down into cities, towns, and villages. The second category consists of prefectures. Under this 2-tier system, all districts in the country belong to one of the 3,229 municipalities and at the same time fall within the boundaries of one of the 47 prefectures. Okay. And then in the 4 stamp sheets that I've shown you here, there are 3 prefectures which are called as Ken, and Osaka is 2. And first, despite decentralization efforts in recent years, government in Japan is still highly centralized compared to the US. This is evident by both the absence of municipal courts as well as by the adherence of prefectures to the national constitution rather than to their own individual constitution, as in the case of the United States. The second key feature of the local government in Japan is the high degree of uniformity with the administration based exclusively on the strong mayor system. Local autonomy law grants local authorities basically identical organizational forms and functions, with the exceptions of Tokyo's central districts and the 12 large metropolitan cities, despite the differences which exist between the authorities in terms of area and population. The emphasis on uniformity and the central guidance is rooted on the belief that the quality and the level of service should be the same throughout the country. The local law came into acceptance and approved practice by all the prefectures in 2007 to accommodate the 60th year of local law from 2008 to 2016. And the Japan Post released 47 commemorative sheets that were released from July 1st, 2008 to 7th of June 2016. Each sheet has 5 stamps of places or events or people of importance in that prefecture. And this presentation will look into details each of the prefecture sheet. That is how the presentation is going to be made. Each sheet will be looked into. The details of the 5 small stamps which are inside, which is focusing on the plays or events or the people of that ken or the prefecture. Some details of that will be given to our audience. Thank you. Let me go on to the thing. The first prefecture is the Do, Hokkaido. Okay. The Hokkaido 60th anniversary of local government's law was on 1st July 2008. Now we have got 5 stamps, and also the majors, the sheet has got a stamp of a red crowned crane. This Japanese is called the Manchurian crane or the Japanese crane. It's a large East Asian crane, among the rarest cranes of the world. In some parts, some parts of its range is known as a symbol of luck, longevity, and fidelity. When we talk about fidelity, we also should think in terms of the red crown cranes that we have in India called the Saras crane. You can go to Rajasthan, the sanctuary, you'll be able to see the Saras crane if you're lucky, because they stay way away from there. But this red crown cranes is a symbol of Hokkaido. Then Goryo-kaku is star fort in the Japanese city of Hokkaido, in the island of Hokkaido. Goryo-kaku is a 5-shaped star-studded, that's the first stamp you see. And there's a tower very near that. If you cross the sea through the undersea tunnel, through which Shinkansen also goes, you go there and then go, and you will be able to have an aerial view of Goryo-kaku, and you can see the star shape of the fort that is there. It's an old fort. BA is a very pleasant countryside, bragging all the enchanting fields of rolling hills. In winter, all the sceneries, as in everything, is just white with a few houses here and there. That's the second stamp that you see. Then Silone Limasina, known as a naked sea butterfly, or the sea angel, or the common Silone is a sea angel. Okay. It's what you call as pelagic sea slug, found from the surface to greater than 500 meters depth. You can see the picture on the stamp on the left-hand side down below. Okay. And then Otaru is a port town in the coastal sea of Japan, with steep slopes of various mountains in south, and sharply which drops into the from the mountains into the sea. That is Hokkaido. This sheet was released on the 1st July 2008, and it has got a value of 80 yens, and then into 5 sheets there. Each stamp is 80 yens. So, and then the designs are given. And then this is printed in photo review in 6 colors. The second one is Kyoto, which is a Fu, as I told you. This was released on 27th of October 2008, which has got 5 stamps again. The first is Genji Monogatari Hemaki. Genji Monogatari, you should be knowing about the adventures of the young Prince Genji. Is characterized by 2 pictorial techniques, Fukinuki Yatai and Hikime Kagibana. Fukinuki Yatai, blown off roof, refers to the form of composition that gives a bird's eye view of the interior of the building, and with the roof and ceiling not shown. In the same case, interior partitions are omitted. That is the first stamp that you see on the top, a single stamp. And of course, you see a big fire on the mountains, which is there during the Obon period. The grass on the mountain is set fire, and the form of oki. Okay, so that is the thing. And then the second is weeping cherry, is a horticultural variant of the deciduous small tree, Hedigan type cherry, which is native to Japan. It is a cherry tree that blooms And then you can see this hanging down, looking like a cherry tree weeping. The third is a thatched village, Kayabuki no Sato, is the most visited attraction in Miyama. Although the whole village is composed of the old thatched houses and is carefully maintained as a cultural heritage site, you can see the thatched house on the third stamp there. Tea garden of Wazuka and five-story pagoda Kaiju in Tenji. The southern Wazuka region accounts for approximately 50% of the prefecture's tea production. The five-story pagoda Kaiju Senji temple is the Japanese national treasure. It is a rare remaining example of Kamakura period, which is 1185 to 1313 temple architecture. Then you have the last stamp, Hamono Hashidate, is one of Japan's three scenic views. The sandbar is located in Miyazu Bay, the northern Kyoto. You can see the sandbar right through on the last stamp. This stamp was released on the 27th of October, and it has got 5 stamps, each of 80 yens, and the stamps are size, almost all the stamps are this size, 30 by 36 millimeters. Then the next one is Shimane, 60th anniversary of local government law, Shimane. Shimane, this was released on 8th of December 2008. And now, if you look at the sheet, you can see the way the temple architecture in Shimane. We'll talk about that. Now, Otorio-sama Chogin is a silver coin. What you see there, Chogin. Otorio-sama Chogin. It's a silver coin made of silver from Iwami Ginza silver mine. This silver mine is today the place where visitors can also visit. This is supposed to be an example of Japanese monozukuri, the way they have done. And it also shows the peony flowers, the red flowers that you see, along with the silver coin is a peony flower, which is a prefectural flower of Shimane. Then Kuniga Coast, you can see Kuniga Coast. One of the most sensational and impressive sites is the Kuniga Coast in the northwest side of Nishinoshima Island. You will see a veritable sculpture gallery of cliffs, sea caves, natural arches, and spires sculptured over millions of years by the force of sea and wind. Then Matsuya Castle, Japanese castle, Matsuya Castle, a Japanese castle located in Matsuya, Shimane Prefecture. It was constructed from 1607 to 1611 by Oryo Hoshiharu, the first daimyo of the Matsuya domain during the early Edo period. Then Suwano, a remotely located and surrounded by hills, though geographically closer to Yamaguchi, another prefecture, and the capital of Yamaguchi, it is in Shimane Prefecture. That's an interesting thing. A train trip to Matsuye, Shimane's capital, takes as long as 4 hours, as it is close to Yamaguchi Prefecture. Many tourists who come to Suwano also visit Hagi on the Sea of Japan and Yamaguchi at the same time. And Suwano is often mistaken as being Yamaguchi Prefecture. Then Kamo Iwakura Hiseki, that means Kamo Iwakura ruins in Shimane are discovered in 1996 as a result of the chance of discovery of a large quantity of bell-shaped bronze vessels in the course of a farm road project. Now, this stamp, as I showed you, is released on 8th of December 2008. Then we have the next prefecture is Nagano Prefecture. This is released on 14th May 2009. Kamikochi is a large, underdeveloped resort in the northern Japan Alps. Like the European Alps, this is called the northern side, the mountainous region, mountainous range, which gets plenty of snow like Alps during winter. Is called Northern Japan Alps. is home to some of the country's most splendid mountain scenery. Whether for a leisurely walk along the Azusa River or an extended trek in the mountain, visiting Kamikochi is a must when you're in Nagano Prefecture. Field mustard or red bloom, the yellow flowers is one of the winter flowers in Japan. It is beautiful yellow flowers and the light green stars. A three-storied pagoda or Anaraguchi is an octagonal three-storied pagoda, traditional treasure. The three-storied pagoda is the only extant octagonal pagoda in Japan, built in the end of Kamakura period in Zen style. Its lowest roof is the Mokoshi pent roof enclosure. It has got a Mokoshi pent roof enclosure. Matsumoto Castle is originally known as Fukashi Castle, one of Japan's premier historic castles. Along their Imaji Kumamoto Castle, the building is also known as Crow Castle due to its black exterior. Okay, then we have the Manjino Sekibutsu is located in Shimozuwa Machi. Mason was ordered to construct large torii or a gate for Harumiya's shrine. However, when he struck the stone with his chisel, it is said that the blood began to flow from the stone. Shocked and stricken with fear, he instead carved a Buddha, Amida, onto this stone and erected it while paying his respects to the spirit. As the mason carved the third year Manju, 1660 AD, on the statue, it is known as Manjino Sekibutsu, the stone Buddha of Manji. That is Nagano. Then we have the Niigata Prefecture, which is on the north. And of course, we brought the Niigata one trainee from ABK who has also went and attended the training in Niigata. So this stamp was released on 18th July 2009, and you will see a beautiful bird flying on the first stamp on the top of this sheet. Okay, it is called Crested Ibis and Sado Island. The most popular sports on Sado, the gold mine Sado Kinzen. That is also like the silver mine. It's a it's a cultural heritage of this country, and it's very beautiful. If you see, you can see the way the mines and they were created. Still, it's a standing example of Japanese monozukuri. And Crested Ibis Conservation Center in Toki Forest Park. All Japanese crested ibis born in Japan officially went into extinct in 2003. But thanks to the efforts of Toki Forest Sado Japanese Ibis Conservation Center and the crested ibis sent from China, these beautiful birds are gradually being released again into the wild of Sado. Then the second is sight of cherry blossoms at night at Takada. You can see the beautiful picture of a night scene on the left-hand side top picture. Takada Park in Niigata, along with Hirosaki Park in Awamori, and the Ueno Park in Onishi in Tokyo, is a famous location that is ranked as one of the Japan's 3 greatest cherry blossom night views. And then the third is Nagaoka Fireworks Festival, which is held annually from August 1st to August 3rd. Right now, that must be going on there, along the banks of the Shimane River in Ote Bridge. The fireworks last for a couple of those hours and feature many large-scale displays. Imamori Pond and Mount Miyako are the fourth one. Mount Miyako is an active stratovolcano volcano in Honshu, Japan. It is situated in Miyako City, Niigata Prefecture, and a part of the national park. Mount Miyako is listed as one of the 100 famous Japanese mountains of Japan. And Imamori Pond is one of the most scenic spots in Miyako Kogen. It is famous for the mirror-like water that reflects the Mount Miyako. Then we have the snow festival of Tokamachi. The annual Tokamachi Snow Festival is held during third week of February in Niigata Prefecture, dating back to 1950. Is the oldest winter festival in Japan. And this stamp, as I told you, was released in 2009 on July 8. And you can see all the 5 stamps. And again, the stamps are of size. There is the top stamp, which is a single stamp in all the cases, is 30 by 36. The rest of the stamps are 20 by 30.5 millimeters. Then we go to Ibaraki. The stamp was released on 4th November 2009. First one you see is the Mount Tsukuba. Mount Tsukuba mountain is located on the northern end of Tsukuba, Japan, particularly well known for its double peaks, Nyotai-san and Nantai-san, female and male bodies. And then we have the H-11B launch vehicle. Is a 2-stage rocket using liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen as propellant, and as 4-strap solid rocket, which is there as a part of this stamp, in the first stamp up there. Then we have the second one is the Fukuroda Falls. Fukuroda Falls is a waterfall located in the town of Daigo, Ibaraki Prefecture. It's a nationally designated place of scenic beauty. Then we have the Tokugawa Mitsukuni. The third son of Tokugawa Yorifusa became the second daimyo of Mito in 1661. Mitsukuni further established Mito's status as a respected Han by supporting the Hendai Nihonshi in 1657. Lake Kasumigagura and Obiki-sen. Haraki Obiki boats, or Obiki-sen in Japanese, are famous site for Ibaraki Prefecture. We have also seen this same stamp when we presented the boats and ships of Japan earlier. Until 1967, these impressive sailing ships were the only commercial ones on the Lake Kasumigagura, the second largest lake after the Biwa, which is in Shiga Prefecture. Then Tsuchiura fireworks. It is here the newest technology and designs meet the creative freshest, most stunning displays of fireworks. The Tsuchiura firework competition is on a small town, Tsuchiura, lights up in bright neon colors. Then we have the Nara, the famous Nara. And then this stamp was released on February 8, 2010. The first one that you see is the Daigokuden Seiden, Cherry Blossom, and Kemori. 3 things, they are put together in that. Daigokuden was the main administrative building of the imperial court in the ancient times of Japan. Daigokuden and the Takamigura, Japanese emperor's seat, and its housing installed inside, where the enthronement ceremonies for emperors and other national ceremonies were conducted. Kemari is an athletic game that is popular in Japan during the Heian period. It's something like a game of football or soccer in those days, where the elite used to be playing that. Then Hasedera is a temple famous for its 11-headed statue of Kannon, the goddess of mercy. And Pyobai is the flower of Nara. Then Murawaji Goju no To. Nara Murawaji temple, 5-story pagoda, is called Goju no To. Cherry blossom in Mount Yoshino. Mount Yoshino is a mountain located in the tower of Yoshino in the Yoshino district, Nara Prefecture, and that's a major religious and literary site. It is renowned for its cherry blossom and attracts many visitors every spring when the trees are in blossom. They said the first trees were planted along the slopes for more than 1,300 years ago. And today the mountain is covered with 30,000 cherry trees for many varieties, especially the Yama Sakura. Yama is mountain, Yama Sakura, it becomes Yama Sakura. Then we have the Kochi Prefecture, and then this is the sheet was released on 14th May 2010. It's called as the first time you can see a person there is called Sakamoto Ryoma, was a Japanese samurai, an influential figure in Bakumatsu, and established the Empire of Japan in the late Edo period. He was a low-ranking samurai who became an active opponent to the Tokugawa shogunate after the end of the Japan Sakoku, which is isolation policy, when the emperor was brought into power, and then there was a lot of internal fight was going on. And Sakamoto Ryoma was a person who supported the emperor on that fight against the shogunate. Katsurahama is a wide sandy beach in the pine-baked bay, offering gentle walks and moon gazing. Then we have the Nara Doke, the symbol of Aki city. It was created around 1887 by a landowner in the area, Gemma Hatanaka. He made the clock by himself, by hand, including its weights and gears. It's a very old type of Doke is a phonetical change of Toke. Hariyama Bashi. Hariyama Bashi is the small red bridge in Kochi, and named after the nearby shop. It is one of the best known places in the city due to the 150 years of old said love story, while Kokeshi-like statues located next to the bridge represent the characters well known in the local love story. Koinobori, Nyodo River through the middle of the Kochi Prefecture in the Pacific Ocean, and it has been called the cleanest river in all Japan. Nyodagawa Kamino Koinobori, the calf swimmer of a Nyoda River, is an example. It's held in Nyoda River at the beginning of May. Cape Ashizuri Misaki, is the southernmost point of the island of Shikoku. The cape is a part of Ashizuri Uwake National Park. Okay. Then we have the Gifu Prefecture, 18th June 2010. The sheet was released. You can see very beautiful houses of Gifu, which is very famous. Okay. Now these houses are very well known for one thing. The roof has been very high roof. They say Gifu also receives, though it's almost the center of Japan, there is a heavy snow during winter. These houses do not need any air conditioner heater. They keep the houses very warm in winter and also very breezy and nice during the summer. It's an old Japanese architecture or the technology they possess by which the houses have been constructed. Okay. And this Gifu is also very famous for the cormorant fishing. That's what you see as a stamp there. Nagara River began. This cormorant is they put a ring around the bird's neck and throw the bird. This normally takes place in the night when the ship carry a big fire on the front. The fire's light, the fishes come out, and then the cormorant dive and catch the fish. And then the boatman and the fish, he just pulls the ring, pulls the rope, and the bird's neck gets tightened, so the bird is not able to swallow the fish. So the bird is pulled, and then the fish is taken out. And this has been there. It's called cormorant fishing in Nagara River, originating as a way for people to feed their families. When cormorant fishing came under the auspices of the Imperial Household Agency, the first fish caught each year were sent to the capital. Gifu Castle and Mount Kinka. Gifu Castle is one of the most famous spots in Gifu City, Gifu Prefecture, and it can be accessed by Mount Kikuna ropeway. The castle, formerly called Inabayama Castle, sits on top of the peak of Mount Kikuna. Then Yokokura Temple, Yokokura-ji, the ancient temple houses 22 official nationally important cultural heritage in Japan. It's also famous for its breathtaking autumn colors. Minowashi Akari Art Festival. Gifu Prefecture is known for its traditional washi paper. There's a national, Japan national, what you call as native paper called washi paper. It's known for the paper industry, including Gifu lanterns and Gifu umbrellas. And the Mino region has long been known for its high quality paper called Mino washi, which is stronger and thinner than most of the other papers in Japan. It was used by Japanese military during the World War II. Magagome Juku. Magagome Juku is the 43rd of the 69 stations of the Nakasendo connecting Edo and Kyoto in the Edo period in Japan at that time. Then we have the Fukui. The stamp was released on 9th of August 2010. Then Fukui is supposed to have some dinosaurs bones or something has been discovered. So Dinosaurus and Tajinobu is a series of cliffs on the Sea of Japan. It is located on Anto part of Mikunicho in Sakai Fukui Prefecture. It's a part of Echizen, Kaga, Kaikan, Kushi, Kwasi National Park. And Fukui is also known for this presence of dinosaurs in the early days. Echizen, Suisen is a city located in Fukui Prefecture, Japan. The modern city of Echizen was established in October 1st, 2005. From the merger of two cities, Echizen Basin has been the important regional center for over 1,500 years. The city is the home to the largest number of cultural assets in Fukui Prefecture and has many former castle sites and prehistoric archaeological sites. Mikata Goko is a quasi-national park and a Ramsar site. Ramsar is they're giving such what do you call ecologically they give the Ramsar certification. And the cluster of brackish semi-freshwater lakes along the Rias coast of Akasa Bay, surrounded by gradual hills of Mount Baijo. Mikata Goko is there in the stamp, again you can see. Then Ichiodani Asakura Iseki. Ichijodani Asakura family historic ruins and are historic ruins located in Kinonouchi section of the city of Fukui. Okay. And Echizen Gani is a phonetical change of Kani. Snow crabs are caught in Echizen coast every year from 6th November until 20th of March. The most treasured of these crabs are known as Suwai Kani and delivered annually to the imperial family. That's about Fukui. Then we have the Aichi Prefecture, which is now part of Nagano. Nagoya is Aichi. And then this stamp was released on 4th of October 2010. And the Japanese iris is a species, a flowering plant in the family of Iridaceae, native to Japan. That's what you see. The second is Kinshachi. See, on the castle top, on the corner, you have this lucky charm made of gold with the body of fish and head of a tiger mounted on top of the Nagoya castle, which was built in 1612 with the order of the first shogun Ieyasu Tokugawa. Then the Atsumi Peninsula is the long Atsumi Peninsula, separates the ocean from the protected waters of Mikawa Bay. It stretches from Toyohashi City west to the great headland of Cape Virago and ferries across the mouth of the bay to Toba, the great place for summer surfing. Then otoscope, the Japanese scope or owl, is an owl which is resident breeder in Japan. Otis is what the name of the owl. Then Ginkgo biloba. Ginkgo biloba is an ancient medicinal tree which has been in existence for millennia without undergoing modification due to its resistance to environmental stresses. The name ginkgo is derived from the wrong description of the Japanese name. In-go, silver fruit, while the epithet biloba refers to the bilobed shape of leaves. Then Seto City, located in Aichi Prefecture, central Japan, is a center of pottery production pottery made in Seto is known as Setoyaki. Last, the thing is the popular bedding plants of Aichi called Semaflorence begonias is a bed of thing, and then the stamp details are given. And you can see the full sheet and also 5 stamps here. Then we have the local law on the 15th of November 2010, Hawamori. Hawamori Prefecture, famous for its apples, is known for its Nebuta festival, which is a summer festival that takes place in Aomori in early August, when huge illuminated floats of samurai figures are paraded in the night through the streets of city. Hirosaki Castle and the Cherry Blossom. From late April to early May, Hirosaki Park in Aomori Prefecture has some of Japan's best cherry blossoms. There is a night light in the castle and cherry trees are given. The night light in the castle and cherry trees give a memorable experience for you to view. Okay. Achinoe Sansho Taisai is a Japanese festival celebrated from July 31st August 4 in Achinoe, Awamori Prefecture, Japan. Its rites center on 3 Shinto shrines, Ogami, Shinra, and Shinmei shrines. Lake Tawada, the largest crater lake in Honshu Island, Japan, it's called Lake Tawada, located in the border of Aomori and Akita Prefecture. It lies 400 meters above sea level and is 327 meters deep, drained by the Oirase River. Kadachime Shirayasaki Lighthouse, the highest brick-built lighthouse in Japan, double cylindrical structure, a brick wall designed by British engineer. The area around the lighthouse is famous for the beautiful scenery, where wild horses called Kandachime, which are strong against cold, are gazing around the lighthouse. So, Kandachime and Shirayasaki Lighthouse. Then we have the Saga Prefecture and the sheet released on 14 January 2011. You can see the first stamp is Okuma Shigenobu and Himari Haritayaki. Shibano Okuma, twice Prime Minister of Japan and founder of Waseda University, born at Kaishokoji, Saga City. Himaria ware and Harita ware are light and delicate. Both have excellent durable because they're porcelain produced from porcelain stone. And then Yoshinogari ruins, the largest ruins among the Yoi ruins excavated in Japan. Yoshinogari spreads through the Kanazaki area of Saga Prefecture. Yoshinogari ruins, as a center of the nation state, have proved invaluable, the source of understanding of the approximately 700 years of covering of the Yoi period. Yotoku Inari Shrine is considered as one of Japan's top 3 shrines dedicated to Inari alongside Fushimi Inari Shrine in Kyoto and the Toyokawa Inari Shrine. Saga International Balloon Festival. Saga is very famous for its very high winds. So the Saga International Balloon Fiesta is held in the beginning of November every year in Saga Prefecture in Japan. Okay, and normally held between October and November along the Kasei River. Karatsukunji, is Saga Prefecture, has been holding the Atom Festival to celebrate bountiful of harvest since the Edo period, that is 1603 to 1867. It says you can see the Karatsukunji, you can see a big fish-like parade. It's a massive parade for 3 days going around the place. So this will be our first portion of this, and we'll have a small break here. Thank you. Bhupal? is cherry blossom night views. And then the third